Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast from your host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda, Heroes like defender of the fatherland, off you to a 1v1 owner, Langraskaya. In the north, it is Kusanagi, fighting for the Oberkommand West Germany, Deutschland, here with the 21st Panzer Division with Grand Offensive, Elite Armoured, and Overwatch. In the south, it is Suorava, fighting here for the Commonwealth, the British Army. Taking on the role here of the Guards Armored Division with Mobile Assault featuring mortar teams, assault sappers, infiltration commandos, vehicle crew repairs, and the land mattress. Got some sappers on top of the second section versus a full start there for Kusanagi. Also, a very big thanks to Gunther for donating and supporting the Propagandacast with his hard-earned money. Big thanks to Gunther. Other people can find his work, for example, by pledging on Patreon. They can donate via PayPal. Links are in the video description. Otherwise, consider pre-ordering Common via the link in the comments. Use the code STUG3G as it is written there, and I get a small sales commission. Otherwise, comment, like, share, subscribe, talk about the video. So, off the races here. Kusanagi advancing there for Deutschland with the Sturmpionier leading the way with a Sturmgewehr. Sappers are busy, 5-man. And again, while the name says run, you need recovery squad, when you look at what they actually get, which includes smoke grenades, heat grenades, and the flamethrowers, they're more assault units, plus they're 5-man, so, Samex there, heading east as well here. Sora there leading in aggressively versus Kusanagi and the Germans. Sturmpioniering up the eastern victory point. Northern point they're seized. First shots fired here, not 2 minutes of the game here, as Kusanagi there spots a section trying to get a foothold on his side of the road. And obviously in the German army, both sides of the road belong to Germany, but that's another story. Got the eastern point here, Langraskaya there for Suorava, looking to cross the road once more, earn his run to the Germans. Sending east the sappers, moving busters there as well, not grabbing the fuel initially. Suorava they're more focused on trying to establish more of a front line here versus Kusanagi, and of course still get some resources. Why here? Gonna try and make it hard for the Germans to get to the victory point that way. Full screening out here for Kusanagi. Shots fired. Saps their caught with the Sturmpionier. Langraskaya almost done. Let's see what Suorava does for that one. We got perhaps also some tech afterwards. I would not be too surprised. Yup, tech up the Langraskaya. And then likely the Langraskaya will grab with the Vickers K. Sturmpionier advancing here. So far though, only some minor skirmish here. No major engagements. No large scale assaults. Not even small scale assaults. Just a bit of, oh dear, there's someone over there we need to shoot at sort of thing there. Meanwhile, Kusanagi with the lead armor is also going for a fourth full Scandinavian squad here. The mass rushing head, and as expected, the Vickers K there, mounted on top. Sturmpionier caught it out in the open. Suorava there, quick looking to clear out a lot of hedges there. The British is always being believers in aggressive gardening. Langraskaya going straight for the full squad at the eastern point here. Moving up here to finish the Y job by the centre. I imagine the way he's doing this means he's going to use the building here to form up a strong point for the Vickers, since with the hedges here gone, a machine gun here can also cover the centre victory point plus the western victory point there. A very strong position by that extent. Full with the Langraskaya and its 2 machine guns there. It was also common to use a boys anti-tank rather than the Ren gun there in the front. In fact, they mounted a variety of weapons on them, even the Germans. So, we captured a bunch of them too. After Dunkirk. Full being pushed back here. Full flank to the Langraskaya there down to half health. East side there, British holding up. And now we can see their Suorava, despite, some slightly funky initial engagement, has gained most of the map here versus Kusanagi, who despite having more infantry, hasn't quite been able to leverage it effectively versus Suorava. Part of this, of course, is the sheer mobility combined with firepower of the Universal Carrier. Plus, of course, the way the innate map sort of shows it also kind of flows here. Academy for Kusanagi obviously wants to light that Universal Carrier up. We got medics for Suorava, pushing ahead here with the full grenadiers though, looking to leverage his infantry numbers a bit harder, as Suorava is a bit short on it. Possible here that Suorava is planning to rely more heavily on commandos, and so doesn't want to commit too heavy instantly into regular infantry. We shall of course have to see. Our 8 points are being seized across the map. Steady advance here from the German army and the 21st Panzer Division, which had been reconstituted after being destroyed in Tunisia, in Normandy. As a fun fact, the division had to make do with a lot of French equipment, as the German army simply couldn't supply them with German equipment. Fun fact. In fact, right before Normandy, one of their Panzer battalions had actually been trained on French Somewhat S-35 tanks, only recently been disbanded. And they also only had Panzer Fulls. They didn't have a Panzer Battalion. So, some fun facts there. And otherwise, you know, had to rely heavily on French armoured half-tracks and French converted, you know, tanks into assault guns as well, and self-propelled artillery. Basically, from the Schnellgruppe West, which is sort of an initial formation established using a bunch of converted French equipment. So, that's a very fun story there, by the way. Ground Western Pointy section moving about here for Suorava. Sections bolts, of course, further increasing their numbers. Though, interesting enough, he's only doing that with, like, 2 sections about there. We've got a sniper as well as Suorava here. They're coming up New Mexico. They almost got it here. Truck up for Kusanagi, the Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier. Sniper there can certainly add some pressure to Kusanagi by bleeding up. Northeast section as the Volksgrenadiers is here. Bit held up here in the center. Interesting enough, despite clearing out the buildings, we didn't really see an attempt to get a machine gun up here. Maybe he's just going to use it with infantry, which also works well to some degree, in particular with Bren guns. Tactically, I don't know what's Kusanagi's doing there. I think he also realized his mistake. He's about to lose the Volksgrenadiers in the Sturmpioneer. I'm very quick to backtrack out of that one still. Kusanagi exploited to push up on the carve point, dissecting here, basically, or bisecting Suorava's territories into like 2 small parts here, and crucially denying access to the field point, allowing here Kusanagi to pull a bit ahead here. Sniper this out, and already going to some nasty encounter with the Germans. We've got a Brandhand Grenadier here as Kusanagi is putting in every effort he can to kill that sniper before the sniper becomes too big of an issue. In fact, sniper almost gets wiped here. That would have been really awkward there for Suorava to lose the sniper, like almost right at the beginning within their own base. That would be certainly an achievement on his own. Kusanagi here flying up in the MD-34. Probably then not going to be on the flak half track here versus Suorava. Probably also just the possibility of, you know, being hit by an AC Mach 3 makes Kusanagi less likely to go for it. Nope. Cancel the machine gun. Instead goes for the light infantry gun. Got Basil wanting attention. Because he's a kitty cat. 2 kills on the universal carrier here. 6-pounder gun for Suorava. Nope, cancels it. Certainly a lot of thinking going on both sides. Could also connect a mortar of his own here. America that pushed back, almost knocked out here by the Germans, by the 21st Panzer Division. Basil, no, phew. My cat. Oh, trenches in the center here, light infantry gun almost down. Fix up the universal carrier, and we got more assault sabers here for Suorava. Sniper roaming about, trenches dug in. We're losing a capture point. Looking up the eastern side. Quick sniper kill there on the Kedenmere for crew. Also into the sabers of the mines, but of course also 4 Sten guns, which backed up with the sniper. It's going to be spelled trouble for the Volksgrenadiers. Kedenmere taking a hit here. Kusanagi keeps up the attack here, launching several prongs here. One larger in the center with 2 squads, 1 smaller in the west with Sturmpioneer reinforcing that. The eastern one already got pushed back. And we can see there's Suorava is going to exploit the fact that east is perhaps a bit forgotten here, but Kusanagi just sneak up a saber squad. They hit perhaps the field point, try and mess with his opponent. And Suorava now commits to a interesting move there. Others would call it awful. I'd probably call it awful too. That is double snipers, which seems to be becoming more popular with some British players. Other double snipers to try and bleed out the Germans. So there's the other corners, of course, they lack counter snipers, which is most people's preferred counter snipers. Plus, light vehicles, we typically like some of the counter snipers as well, can be countered by the sniper because they got an anti-tank rifle. There. Going for double snipers can certainly fight you with some nasty assets there. We can see that Kusanagi spreading across the map here, grab as much as he can in the west here, trying to further slow down his Suorava's fuel economy. So 2 sections, 2 sappers of assault types, and 2 snipers. Definitely not standard British build order, at least. Hopefully it doesn't become standard. Again, from up the center here, on the west side here, about to push back. Almost got it, but narrowly escapes here the wrath of Kusanagi and the 21st Panzer Division here. Kedenmere around it. Truck on the way for Kusanagi, the Schwere Wehrmachtschlepper, and the east there, sappers coming up here again. Kusanagi basically caught here, committing too hard in the west to have nothing to defend with the east with. That set, the Schwere punted quarters could allow Kusanagi, of course, to bring in some more heavier solutions. Double snipers going for the Volksgrenadiers in the west with their boys' anti-tank rifles. Routed. 2 kills on one and 8 on the other for a total of 10. 6-pounder gun there. Nope, cancelled again. Except we do get the infiltration commandos here, equipped with the silenced Sten gun, which which is a fun side fact, was also popular with German special operations troops. Basically also Skorsena's guys. They would basically just use all the examples they could get their hands on. Fun fact. Smoke in the center. That's not to say the Germans didn't have their own silenced weapons. They actually had a few silencers for the MP40s and even some for the Kar-9 TKs, which I believe were actually based off Soviet rifle silencers. It's a little fun fact there as well when it comes to silenced weapons. Brandhunt going out in the section there. Snipers moving up here. Bit risky around the smoke. You can see how many German troops there could be with an assault weapon, which could quickly wipe out here. Could Suorava snipers, but still getting at it. Suorava is clearly not intimidated here by the German army. Akema flanked by the section. We got trench or Spear Pentacles halfway done here. Snipers are bleeding away at the Germans. Down to 2 men. Artillery fire raining down there. Akema from Langraskaya shoots and misses. The rockets went right past the crew there. And Suorava realized perhaps the big extend. There we go. Almost got the sniper with the light infantry gun, but fortune smiles upon Suorava there. Second shot is almost a near kill as well, but again the sniper survives the encounter with a 75-meter high close shell head on. Are you alright over there? Oh yeah, I'm fine mostly, just, you know, lost a few internal organs. Oh, I'm sure you'll do well with that, those. Reinforcing healing here. Fighting over the center continues. Bit of moving on the west side here, but crucially enough, Suorava has both fuel points. Kusanagi has none. This could become a big problem there for Kusanagi, since the Brits can very quickly spiral that into some fast, nasty armor. Here we do have the Schwerpanzer quarters up and authorized, but fuel-wise again, Kusanagi is now falling a bit behind Suorava here, who is thankfully, at least for Kusanagi's sake, yet to take up, but definitely may want to do that in the near future. Straight for the Carpon here. Kusanagi, of course, knows he needs to slow down his opponent's fuel economy a bit, so hitting the Carpon there, but obviously doesn't gain the fuel point directly back, does at least ensure Suorava doesn't benefit from it. 6 Pentagon there for Suorava, but yeah. 2 snipers, 2 sappers, 2 sections, and a infiltration commander squad there with the silenced Sten guns. Sappers here was the Volksgrenadiers, Sturmgewehrs and Kar-9 TKs ripping through them. Got the commanders ready to creep up on the Germans to fire away with the silenced Sten guns here and decimate them, or at least force them to retreat. Sappers almost wiped out. There we go. Good wipe there by Kusanagi and Suorava. Obviously got a lot more Englishmen to exterminate, but it's a start. Meanwhile, Suorava there certainly keeps up his Hun killing as well there. And he isn't getting any wipes. He's certainly causing a fair amount of attrition here to Kusanagi. Suorava yet to take up here. Snipers continue to run about. There we got 6. We got 14 for a total of 20 kills. Finally, to grab back these in the field, but there's a mine laid down here, actually killing 2 of Kusanagi's Volksgrenadiers, meaning the snipers could move up there and just wipe the rest of the squad here. Smoke being deployed to try and mess with the snipers. Not a bad idea, by the way, here from Kusanagi. I think he's slowly realizing this could go sour in the east here. Or not. Or not. So yeah. Suorava there just exerting immense map control right there versus Kusanagi. And Kusanagi, of course, trying to break through of this, though with limited success so far. Limited success. There you go. Raken Mef opening up Langraskaya again. Snipers murdering away there again. Vetchi 2 gain on 1. And there you go. Anti-tank weapon there scores a kill on the Langraskaya. They're finally removing 1 thorn in Kusanagi's side. The problem is, of course, he can't accidentally manage to like trip into a bush full of thorns, so he's got a lot more thorns to remove. Sniping up here. Enforcing healing up the west side. Clearing up stuff. Ground most on the victory point. Company command post there for Suorava. Mines here for Suorava as well. Advancing on them rapidly and steadfastly. Smoke being deployed to cover the center here. Realizing, again, trying to leverage all of his infantry versus Suorava while he can. Commandos stay in the base alongside both snipers. Straight into another mine here. Suorava, of course, been quite busy laying down a lot of mines versus Kusanagi here. Thumbs up to that. But of course, at this point, they may also want to consider upgrading some of their men with Bren guns. That could also benefit Suorava's forces a fair bit. Grab the eastern fuel point, eastern victory point, center and west one here. Kusanagi, of course, trying to close down the gap between him and Suorava there. Very wise. Can soon go for Panther model. Meanwhile, Suorava there's got the command post up. Could go for hammer, could go for animal tactics, just go for crumble or centaur. There's certainly numerous paths here that Suorava could take versus Kusanagi and the 21st Panzer Division. Section backed up with the sniper there. Well, one sniper there almost buggered off. Front grenade there. Sniper gets a good kill. 10 there for the British Empire. East of their commanders as the Fultons quickly almost wiping out the entire squad there with the silenced den guns. Second squad they're also quick to retreat here in the face of the infiltration commandos. Speedy assault there. Quick note, while shown here as fully automatic, the actual silenced den guns were fully semi-automatic, as otherwise you'd basically burn through the silencer. So they were pretty much by the workshops that made them hard set to semi-automatic. Fun fact. Light gamma on the Trinity Academy ever. That's an extra bit of bad news here for Kusanagi. Lost the Academy to Suorava. Meaning his opponent's now going to at least, 200 tank guns. He's going to have none. Though he is getting the Panther 4 up there, and Suorava, interesting enough, is going for anvil tactics. Oh boy. Churchill tanks then, I guess. This is certainly going some places. Mines in the center here from Suorava. Folks going to jump in, aiming up here, east side here. Bit of quiet there. Panther 4 model almost done there for Kusanagi. Quick sniper kill there again. 12 and 18 for a total of 30. Panzerkampfwagen 4 as from J arriving here, adding the Panzerkommandant there. Marshal to support the advance, of course, realizing by now that Suorava is quite serious with the whole mining off the map business. And rolling in, his snipers quickly disengaging as Suorava realizes the entire front line is right now looking a bit like it could get pear-shaped for him if he doesn't get out of there fast. Panther diving in there. A pretty bold move because I can tell you, he is aware his opponent's been mining quite a bit. There's like one, mine for the Panther 4 there at the wrong place could allow the 6-pounder gun to wreck it. So I'm surprised Kusanagi went in like he did. And there you go. Of course, there's also the Kedenwerfer. So diving into the Panther light with no support seems at best highly ambitious, at worst a bit reckless. But oh well. In this case, he didn't get punished. But considering how little health there was left in the Panther 4, there was every chance he could have gotten punished. So, yeah, not what I'd recommended there. Commandos rushing on the west side here, catching the Fultons. They do get a Banhunt grenade there to try and halt the commando advance, and it does succeed. Aha, they're afraid of fire! Well, most human beings are, Ludwig. Oh, yeah, I guess. So Suorava can soon go for a Churchill infantry tank here to roll over those dastardly Huns. Ground western field point here, even as the British sees the eastern one. Like Kedden over there for Kusanagi. And there you go, Churchill infantry tank for Suorava. Section moving up here, you got the snipers over on ground. We got 13 and 18, both veteran 2. Meanwhile, Kusanagi's Panzer IV, of course, receiving most needed repairs. Churchill tank 1/3 of the way done here for Suorava. Snipers laying quick kill here for the British Empire here, and another kill there on Kusanagi's Volksgrenadiere. Finding here for the eastern victory point, Brandhunt gone out through the window there, lighting up the entire facade, and quickly baiting the Englishmen within. Almost got the sniper with the Volksgrenadiers. Panther diving in, good shots. And following the telestrike here on the anti-tank gun to further convince them to get the devil out of there. And there you go. Churchill tank out here for Suorava. Not the most common unit in 1v1. Most people there tend to prefer the Comet tank. It is interesting to see here Suorava commit to the Churchill tank here, adding the tank commander. Also the section there. Rolling ahead with that one. Little fun fact about the Churchill tank, it also saw service in the Soviet army, but they'd use it in their independent heavy tank regiments. Fun fact, but there you go. I can't let go here in the Churchill tank here, straight through the frontal armour. Lots of smoke in the center, finding for less than a fuel point and its car point in the west here between Kusanagi and Suorava. In fact, neither player has the fuel point connected at the moment.
A capture point is being overrun.
It's a bit of a standoff here. Church tank receiving some quick repairs here for Suorava. Snipers creeping about still. 22 and
We have 300 points remaining.
14. Academy Weapon number 2 for Kusanagi. I imagine a response here to the Churchill tank.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
But he has a lot of other options immediately. But that said, the Church tank can absorb them and, relatively easily deal with anti-tank guns on the right circumstances. So just tossing out the Academy the Churchill tank isn't necessarily a strong counter in the longer run. Unless he, I guess a lot of them, but that means he's going to be vulnerable to all other things. Panther shoots though, bounces off the Churchill tank's armor. Academy shoots, bounces as well. 25 ring down, another Academy hit this time actually goes through, and the Panther 4 shot also goes through the Churchill tank's armor. Academy have gained advantage 1 here against the Huns, the Germans. Snipers that keeps plinking away there at those vile, nasty Germans. Racking up those kills for the British Empire. Kind of a push back though, the commander's crewing it, taking some fairly nasty hits there from the light infantry gun. The light infantry shots insane, sniper keeps just murdering. There we go, up to a total of 40 kills on the 2 snipers. Commandos, Sab's on the watch for the eastern victory point. We got Bren guns now here, and has of course equipped his commandos with the Bren guns.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
We got here the Fulton flank up behind the sappers and the commandos. Panther forming in, center there. Smoke push as well from Kusanagi, hoping to maybe catch the snipers, but didn't quite manage it. That's what Kusanagi could go for here versus the Churchill tank. I mean, a Panther could be an option, but the Yak Panther could also just need something with a bit more penetration, so some more reliable penetration. I suppose they all just go for a lot of Panther 4s with heat shells. Churchill tank though suffers from the heat shell ammo cannon being pushed back. Land matches out here for Suorava, pulling in some rocket artillery to slam the German positions into the ground. And these commandos push back here. Able to handle the armored might here of Kusanagi and the 21st Panzer Division. Fulskin in the center being routed here. Sandbags shattered. Snipers killing away there. 19 and 25. Slowly approaching the 50 kills on both snipers total. Kusanagi there creates the forces west side. Note the way Kusanagi just doesn't get caught up in one part of the map. He's always quick to shift attack patterns here versus Suorava, making it hard for Suorava to lock down any part of the map and just get comfortable here versus Kusanagi. Thumbs up, smoke being deployed again. Fairly active smoke usage here from Kusanagi to try and negate some of all the firepower here that Suorava has, in particular the snipers. Can be confounded by that, but we can see he's creeping up with the sniper here. Suorava's got something planned there. Go using it as a spot for the land matches to silence his opponent artillery here. Thumbs up to Suorava, devious and effective. And there you go, wipes the light infantry gun crew here. Could theoretically follow up with a coordinated fire barrage, then try and finish off the light infantry gun, as the land matches won't be able to do the job on his own. That could be an idea here for Suorava, but so far apparently it would appear they are not interested in that. Kusanagi though bringing up Panther here. Panther being flanked with his commandos. Flanking the land matches. 6 guns on the Kevin opening up. There, got to called in with the Panther 4 and the anti-tank guns. Sniper there. Opening up, and the Kevin moves through the front line here. Rather hectic stuff here. Sturm Pianist a section. Panther halfway done. Okay, now been almost wiped out here, and there you go. Got it. 6 points up in the Panther 4. Panther almost done. Almost done for Kusanagi. Got the anti-tank on there at least. Another push for the center here, though, but Kusanagi is swarming infantry right at the Churchill tank. Pretty bold here, pretty bold. Fortunate for him, though, Suorava's Churchill tank missed most of the shot, and we get a wipe here on Suorava. Great here for Kusanagi, starting to apply some of that harm here to the British Empire. And the Panther has arrived as well. Church tank shoots, closing in about 21. We've got the snipers at the 20 and 28. Setting out the snipers again, backed up with the commandos. More kills on the full grenade under Kusanagi's command. And there goes sent packing. West side here we got the Panther moving in there, charging ahead for Deutschland, adding the pinlight machine gun there, full joining in the fun. Swift advance on the west side here. Kusanagi threatened to collapse for us left flank here. And there go right into the Churchill tank here. Shoots, misses. Snipers bleeding out the troops in the center here. Panther full still at it. We'll have to withdraw here. The Sturmpioneer battery repaired, get absolutely slashed into pieces here by the snipers. 29 and 22 kills, total of 51 kills on the two snipers now. Commander slowly approaching Veteran 3. Church tank sitting out, and another weapon Kusanagi. I mean, Suorava costing him all of his sections actually. I mean, just with commandos and sappers and snipers. And Suorava responds to this by going for more commandos. Spicy. Panther was the commanders in the west side here. We got Fin 11 versus 271. Panther quick to fall out. And then the west side we got the full 20 bit as well here for Kusanagi. Getting recruit there again. Panther on the move, and there go loading up Heat Shield 2 versus Churchill tank. Once a dead, and once a dead fast. But the sappers backed up the 6 gun present a bit of a threat to the Panther, and certainly the prowling snipers there do not, I think, really help Kusanagi's chance of going for that Churchill tank at that point. Sending big seas for the Kedden over here. 10 kills, 22 on the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung Jod. Smoke deployed in the center. Fun fact about the 21st Panzer Division, it didn't have any Panthers for the aforementioned reasons, and actually received a Panther battalion that had been detached from the 2nd Panzer Division, which in return then got a Panther battalion from the 116th Panzer Division, which just didn't have a Panther battalion then. Fun fact. Anyway, small sappers out here for Suorava. Commanders based with the center there. More Bren guns on those gentlemen here. Panther doing what it can here for Deutschland, but the shots aren't quite hitting. And the land matches certainly isn't making things easy for Kusanagi there to make a successful counterattack across the center. Churchill tank almost fixed up. We'll have to see what follows up with versus the Panther. Could be tempted to go for Firefly. Could also suppose just go for more Churchill tanks. What will Suorava do is harder to say. West side we got the Panther versus sappers here. Anti-tank grenade off, fails to make much of any impact here on the Panther. Panther will be in the center. Heavy sappers up this Suorava. Panther going for the sappers here. Main gun and machine gun. Sappers almost wiped out. Command start center into the full screen of the Panther 4 here. Quick shot there, killing one of the commandos, gaining the entire squad at this level. Still forced to retreat, but is allowed now to retreat under cover smoke. Churchill moving to the fire here of the Panther 4 and the Panther. Could take a lot of damage out here in the Churchill tank here under Suorava's command. Need to be careful. Full to keep up the assault. Commanders doing the kind of light gun bomb here. Could cause heavy losses. There you go. Kusanagi's forced to retreat. A mass rout here. Panther with a damaged engine. Churchill tank that won't be able to pursue here. Lots of troops moving back and forth here between Kusanagi and Suorava as Kusanagi just keeps hammering away here at Suorava. He refuses to slow down. Snipers meanwhile keeps bleeding, keeps killing. Got 31 and 25 kills there. More sniper kills in the Kedden Alpha. How many kills has he had? So 133. And almost like 60 kills. That's like close to half of all the kills here have been done by the snipers under Suorava's command. Panther 4 being fixed up. Both sapper teams or sections, they're getting ready to fix up the Churchill tank. Veterans who want to know, opening up for the self-defense grenade. And a pinlock machine gun. Yep. Panther at the center. No, it was not uncommon at all for tank crews and most armies to actually carry around grenades for self-defense alongside a few submachine guns. In case things got awfully uncomfortably close. Commanders, they're trying to grab the center victory point. They're barely doing it, but Kusanagi is obviously not silly, and he knows that even like this, he can't see anyone as long as something grabbing near the point. There's obviously someone there. But there you go, spots him, and now some of the commanders saying intense amount of damage, force retreat here, and the land match just got destroyed here. Great kill here for Kusanagi. That definitely hurt Suorava. Must have been misclick here, some pathing error, I do not know, but the land matches there got sent to the front line for no good reason. Suorava is running out victory points versus Kusanagi. Will need to do something to turn this around soon. I think the lack of armor isn't particularly helping out, but also tactically, Suorava is, I think, becoming increasingly just reliant on sort of making the same few moves, which Kusanagi is, I would say, fairly efficiently countering. Something I think Suorava may, of course, want to re-evaluate and consider some other approach. We got both became caught with the commanders here. Fortunately for Kusanagi, no grenades like maybe wiped them out. That could have been quite uncomfortable there for Kusanagi. In the center here, south, the forces routed here, taking intense damage here from the sappers and the Churchill tank. 10 kills, almost 32. Almost got a wipe here. You do get a Panderfaust, but it could cost him the Fulton squad. It doesn't get the Churchill tank response, obviously. That's going to be a pretty bad trade here for Kusanagi. Panther taking house, nice hit from the 6-point gun here, and we got an ace little Panther tank by the way there, which is certainly bad news for the Panther 4. There you go, damage engine. And the Churchill tank knocks it out, gaining Betty 2 in the process. Could even see the Panther knocked out. This could be a huge blow here to Kusanagi. Does the Panther get away from the anti-tank gun? Looks like it. Looks like it's going to be close though, but the Panther does successfully escape here. The Wrath, the Suorava, and the British Empire. Still, the Churchill tank is alive, but so is the Panther. What will Suorava follow up with it? We got another Panther for Kusanagi. Snipers back to just indiscriminately murdering Germans. We got Finn 1130. Sappers reinforcing. Graham Neeson pump with the commandos. Moving up the centre against Fulton with the commanders there. Got Unleashing an ambush there. That absolutely rips apart the Fulton man. Can see in the match of seconds the commanders have some very powerful ambush bonuses. Which is like, in sense, can like, easily, well, compare with stuff like the tactical assault abilities, except they don't get a downside. Like, they don't even slow down. So, like, if you set up correctly with a commander squad, they can absolutely wipe units in a matter of seconds. It's why also people have Bren guns, because they certainly only help the matter. Graham Neeson victor point with the ace commander squad there. Need to fix up that Churchill tank swiftly. I'm a bit surprised they didn't, like, try to pull the Churchill back further here so he could repair it while reinforcing. Seems a bit of a potential oversight. 6-pounder gun there for Suorava. Still no additional armor, just that one Churchill tank. Heading westwards with the commandos. Panther though here for Kusanagi. Quick retreat there. Obviously not going to try and tangle with the Panther 4 like that. And there you go. Churchill tank good to go once more here for Suorava and the British Empire. Snipers on the move again, of course worth noting both on our ace level. 27 and 34 kills. 300 or less than that. Commanders caught with the Panther and the Fulton on the west side here. Sent about to grab by the Germans. East side there, already grabbed by the Germans. Suorava looks like it's going to actually make an attempt here to push into the east once more instead of just focusing on the center. They do get artillery there, plus sniper fire. Panther 4 down to half health. Heat shells deployed against the Churchill tank, but it's not quite getting there. Snipers behind the Kedma crew as well. The Sturm Pioneer half strength here. All victory point claimed back here by Kusanagi and the 21st Panzer Division. Snipers will keep murdering away there. 29 and 36. Bouncing shot there. We got 100 points left for the Suorava. Panther diving in there for Deutschland. Close 32 here. Sappers versus the Fultons out with the Vickers case and the Sten guns. The Ken on the centre about to get wiped out. Fultons going for the church and getting Panther fausted here. Snipers being hammered out by the Panther. Need to retreat. That sniper fort gets wiped. We got the Panther at Vetsny 2 there. 9 kills. Schutzen added. Sappers in the west routed here. We got 294 versus 83. Suorava needs to work on that map control right now. very badly. Churchill, they're seeing just the vehicle crew repairs to quickly get back into faction so the sappers can be freed for more pressing matters. Now in the center, they push back alongside the sappers there. Commanders on the move here, committing more squads to the center west here. East side once more forgotten here by Suorava. In the center, a lone full squad is dispatched hastily and violently. Got the western one here. We got 294 versus 68. Churchill tank good to go. Once more in a few seconds. Again, record here. We got the Panther moving in, or Panther moving against the commanders, pushing them back. 6-pounder gun on the move here. Ace level. Panther around the sappers there. Swallow's Churchill tank is setting up once more for the British Empire and it is close to vetting free there. Opening up the Panther, getting a few good shots in there. Could he be planning a Firefly here or not on the Churchill tank? Not seeing any other troops here. There's plenty of fuel as well to go, so might be another Churchill tank now here for Suorava versus Kusanagi. A bold move there. Panther there taking further hits from the 6-pounder gun. Almost got a total of 70 kills now in those two snipers. More fire there being unleashed on the Churchill tank. More Panther fires. Damaging the engine once more, but it's close to the ace. Little Panther 4, they're down to half health. 6-pounder crew, and that's the ace crew that really got wiped. That's quite the blow here to Swan under current circumstances. As that's a loss in penetration and rate of fire, which is particularly handy versus the Panther. Command's about to get wiped as well. Things really collapsing. So we do get a smoke deployed here by the Churchill tank, trying to get it out of there, trying to extract it, but the collapsing front line, the loss of infantry squads at this rapid pace for Suorava is really not helping. We're still not seeing any additional units being called in, no additional armor, nothing. Churchill tank there, shrugging off shots here, even as the German goes for the kill here. Heat shell goes through here. Snipers keep bleeding out those Germans. Shot bounce, we get a critical shot there. Could take out the Panther 4, but the Churchill tank is kaput. Commanders racing through here.
Churchill tank has been destroyed.
Got the Kidnapper. Almost got the Panther 4. Commanders racing through the center here. Enforcing healing. Suorava is just flooding manpound fuel here. There seems to be a strategic paralysis. There we go. Double crumbles now. Perhaps finally realizing that, oh yeah, they need to start calling in tanks. Imagine they actually called in more tanks by now. This fight could look very different for Suorava. So, not entirely sure what happened there, but it definitely was not helpful for Suorava. It was only helpful for Kusanagi. That Suorava was just at that critical juncture. Instead of calling in more units, just floating resources. Always be mindful of that. Panther 4 diving in there for Kusanagi. Let's see one of those snipers swapped out. There we go. The Panther 4 knocked out by a sniper and abandoning that. Focus quality of the commandos.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Almost got the sniper there. We got 276, 265. Panther there. 13 kills for the fatherland. Baldeladung here on the cheating folks, but the grenade is completely off the mark here, won't do anything. Sapper rushing forwards. Panther 4 recruit immediately up in the British troops. First Cromwell is ready here, could probably go for the damage. Panther 4 to finish it off here. Rushing into the center here, we got 274 for 65. Things heating up, you got a concussive grenade here from the Veteran 4 near Ace Doom, Pioneer and there go. They do reach the ace level here. Cromwell going for the Panther 4. Panther 4 misses, and the Panther 4's knocked out. Panther diving for the Cromwell here. Gets a good shot in there. Suorava needs to get forced to the front and on the Kidnapper. Panther going for the Cromwell here. Almost got knocked out. Sappers fighting like madmen there. Smoke deployed. Can it save the Cromwell? Obviously not. 7% back get wiped out here. Kusanagi is merciless. Cameron's about to destroy the 6-pounder gun here. Snipers murdering away there. 15 kills on the Panther. Almost fetching 3 here. Another Cromwell ready here for Suorava and the British Empire. 43-36. Getting some hits on the Panther, damaging it lightly. Cromwell racing forward, reinforcing healing here. The fight is not looking like it's Suorava's favor at this point. Tank commander at it. Go. I think that might actually be a total of 80 kills now on the two snipers. 50 points left. We got the Panther gaining actually 3. That is definitely bad news here for Suorava's armor. As opposed to infantry, any infantry caught in front of the Panther here. 274 versus 46. Commandos hitting in here for the British Empire straight at the foot of these there. Fixing up the Cromwell. Kusanagi with some Obersoldaten. And Suorava here apparently just selling their soul to the devil by going for a third sniper. That seems more like just for the hell of it, more than anything else. Smoke deployed here, thumbs up. Theoretically not a bad idea, but the Panther, they're just basically running around the circle. It's just going to crush them out of the way, though, so I don't know how much this helps Suorava, to be honest, at this stage. Third sniper almost done. Other two sending out once more for the British Empire. Command's about to get wiped out here. 18 kills on the Panther. Advancing on the centre. 10 points left for Suorava. This is very much like there you go. The Kenner the Cromwell tank. And we got the third sniper there arriving on the battlefield here. Panther going for it there. 224 versus 2. And there you go. GG, game over. A brutal loss there for the British. Some interesting back and forth, but again, I feel like Suorava got slightly sidetracked there again after that Churchill tank in terms of like just getting more armour out. I think that was a significant issue there for Suorava that just meant they couldn't follow up with anything. They also, I think, got too focused around the centre and western victory point, ignoring a large part of the rest of the map here. This was also very beneficial to Kusanagi, and I think was one of the main factors that caused Suorava's loss here. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't enemies. This is Imperial Cheers. See you all tomorrow for a nice episode. Bye.